What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In my last video, I made predictions for the NFC North teams. This video will be the NFC East teams. Alright, let's get to the teams. New York Giants.
We're from New York, and we... All hail the New York Giants!
This offseason, the Giants added quarterback Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston to their roster. I'm not exactly sure what they're doing. I don't know why they need so many quarterbacks on their team. Now that they drafted Jackson Dart, they have 4 quarterbacks on the roster. Funny enough, I don't think any one of them is going to be good enough to get the Giants to the playoffs. Alright, as I'm editing this video, the Giants released Tommy DeVito. So now they don't really have 4 quarterbacks, they have 3 quarterbacks. It makes sense. Tommy DeVito is the least talented quarterback on the roster, and you don't really want to go in the season with 4 quarterbacks. However, my point still stands. They still have 3 quarterbacks, and I don't trust any of them to get the Giants to the playoffs. This Giants offense probably still won't be good this year. The offensive line is still really bad, and now that Andrew Thomas is dealing with an injury, I don't know if he's going to be back. And if he's not back, that offensive line is just going to be even worse than it already is. Malik Nabers is the standout star on that offense that I really like. Outside of him, I don't really trust in anybody else. Nabers should put up huge numbers in fantasy this year. I feel the Giants defense could be okay this year. They drafted Abdul Carter with the 3rd overall pick in this year's draft. I think he could be a really good pass rusher for them. I feel the Giants' front 7 is going to be solid. I do question the secondary, though. They'll probably have a pretty good run defense, but then get torched every once in a while. I don't think the Giants made any significant moves to get better this offseason. They'll probably be about the same, maybe slightly better than they were last year, since they have slightly better quarterback play. Russell Wilson should be the starter for them, and he can be at least not awful, so they'll be slightly better. All things considered, this is not a playoff team. I see them going 5-11. Philadelphia Eagles. Coming off the Super Bowl, they didn't really add anyone to their team. To be fair, they didn't need to, as they just won the Super Bowl. They did lose Darius Slay, but he's getting older, so I don't think that's going to be too bad of a loss. They also lost CJ Gardner-Johnson, who's pretty decent, but he can also be really annoying. I feel whatever fan base that has CJ on their team is split on if they like him or hate him. They have good safety depth anyway, so it wasn't too bad of a loss. This team should still be really good. They still have Saquon, they still have A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback despite what some people say, and that offensive line might be the best in the league. This offense should still be really good. This defense was the best defense in the league last year, and they didn't lose anyone too significant, so I think they should still be really good this year. I swear half their defense comes from Athens. They might as well be the Philadelphia Bulldogs at this point. This team pretty much just retained all their talent that they had from the Super Bowl last year. They'll still be really good, but their schedule is much harder this year. The NFC East has an ongoing streak of no repeat winners for like 20 years. I was thinking about following the streak and picking another team to win the East, but I feel the Eagles are just much more talented than the rest of the division. They should break the streak and repeat as division winners. 12-5. Washington Commanders. Last year they were pretty successful after signing all these old veterans like Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz, Austin Eckler, and they all played pretty well. This offseason they doubled down and signed more old veterans in Deebo Samuel and Von Miller. I'm not sure how those two will turn out. I don't think they'll be a significant addition to this team. This offense should still be really good, though. Terry McLaurin did request a trade recently, but then they gave him a bag in that contract extension, so he's staying in Washington. This is a pretty good move. You got to keep talent around your young quarterback in Jaden Daniels. If Terry McLaurin was traded, the wide receiver 1 would be what? Deebo Samuel? That would not be good. Speaking of Jaden, he just really surprised me last year. I did not think he would be that good. After his first 2 games, which were kind of mid, he really took off and took the lead by storm. However, this year, I feel it's going to be kind of like CJ Stroud last year. He's going to have a sophomore slump. CJ Stroud was also really good his rookie year, but then last year, in his second year, he kind of had a little slump. I feel the same's going to happen to Jaden. The league now has tape on Jaden, and he's not going to be as effective this year. He won't be awful. This offense will still be pretty good, but it won't be the electrifying offense that it was last year. Their defense was surprisingly good last year. However, I don't think the defense is going to be as good this year. They have a lot of old veterans on that defense, and I feel they're just going to be a year older and a bit slower. They'll still be a top 15, maybe top 10 defense. They won't be awful, but they won't be this really good defense like they were last year. I think this team will be on the border of making and missing the playoffs. I'm going to say they just miss out at 8-9. Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys desperately needed running back help this offseason. However, the running back market was not good this offseason. They signed Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. Not exactly elite running back help. They did trade for George Pickens this offseason. I think that's a pretty good move to pair him up with CeeDee Lamb. One of the offensive linemen, Zach Martin, retired. That's going to be a pretty big loss. I feel they're going to miss him this upcoming season. If Dak and CeeDee are healthy, this offense should be pretty good. A lot of people shit on Dak a lot, and sometimes it is justified, but I feel most of the time it is not. He's still a solid quarterback, like a borderline top 10-ish quarterback. He's still pretty good. If he is healthy, this offense should be pretty good. However, this defense relies a lot on if Micah Parsons will return. Micah Parsons recently requested a trade after him and his agent couldn't come up with a deal with Jerry Jones and company. I feel like Jerry Jones got to be one of the dumbest owners in the league. And that's saying some, as there are some pretty dumb owners in the league. Jimmy Haslam. This deal should have been done last year, and he would be paid like $35-ish million a year. Now, this year, TJ Watt and Myles Garrett are making 40 plus. You got to pay Micah Parsons 40 plus. Originally, I thought this situation would be like every other contract negotiation situation with Jerry Jones. The player and Jerry Jones can't come to terms with a deal. The player holds out or requests a trade or something, and then eventually Jerry caves in and pays him. However, with each passing day, it seems like Micah really wants to be off the Cowboys. I don't know if this relationship between him and the Cowboys are irreparable. So Micah Parsons just got traded while I'm editing this video. This franchise is cooked. I don't know what the they're doing. None of this would have happened if Jerry Jones just paid Micah Parsons last year. Y'all won't see a Super Bowl in a long time, and it's because of the owner, Jerry Jones. Also, they only got 2 first-round picks in return from Micah. I feel they could have got more. Micah's worth more than just 2 first-round picks. Originally, I was debating between if Micah was going to get traded or he's going to be back on the Cowboys. I eventually settled on Micah and Jerry Jones getting a deal done, and him being back on a team to start the season. I thought they'd be good enough to sneak in the wild card at 10-7. However, without Micah, this defense gets a lot worse. I don't think they will get to 10 wins. Now I feel they'll probably come third in the division. 7-10. Alright, so here's my final predictions for the NFC East. The Eagles win the division at 12-5. The Commanders come in second at 8-9. The Cowboys come in at third at 7-10. And the Giants come in last again at 5-12. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. My NFC South predictions will be coming up next. Be on the lookout for that. Alright, peace.